Hello viewers, welcome to your favorite program, La Lumiere the J. If you just joined us for the first time, this is a program that showcases the lives of individuals who've made up their minds to succeed deliberately. More often than not, we all desire change, but it just so happens that many of us expect that change to come from external forces. And the reality is that as long as you continue to rely on external forces, then you might be a victim of the person's whims. But when you make up your mind to succeed deliberately, it comes from a decision that you make on your own and you begin to live it. All across the world, there are men and women who are defining their own success more deliberately by the choices they have made. It's not a consequence of the environment in which they find themselves. It's more because they have seen success and they believe it's more predictable. And so today we're teaching a very important topic called change agents, becoming a change agent. A change agent is basically somebody who changes the course of action for good. And we have very wonderful people on show today. I'd like to welcome Mr. Segun Olujobi. You're welcome on the show.
Thank you.
And I'd also like to welcome Mr. Biodun Omolayo onto the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're going to be listening to their stories. We're going to be learning from them, as it were. So, Mr. Omolayo, let's start with you. Can we get to know you?
Okay, my name is Biodun Omolayo. I'm 53 years old. I'm married and I have 4 children. I'm an artist, a creative person. When I graduated from the University of Ilorin, I was given the best youth corper in Oyo State.
I see.
In 1986-87. And then I was given automatic employment by the federal government. So I also worked with the NYC as an information officer. But from there, I went in for that interview. When I got there, the first question they asked me, apart from the written interview, was, Father, you're an award winner. What exactly did you do to win that award? And I told them a story of what I did during that year. Because what I learned from the department, again, on my own as a person, the father, wherever you find yourself, you have to impact that area, impact people in the area, and make yourself useful. During the NYC, I just looked around. They were complaining that the camp was very dull. All you coppers were complaining, so they were trooping out. Each time they went out, when they came back, they are either subject to one kind of punishment or the other. So I asked the question, what's the problem? He said the place was dull. And I said, why? Why can't we just provide something, an activity here to make it very interesting? And since I studied performing arts, I said, wow, I think I need to put up a play somewhere. So I did my final year project on Wale Soyinka's Lion and the Jewel. After we finished the production, they put on the light and everybody was happy. The literature text they were using was Wale Soyinka's Lion and the Jewel, coincidentally.
Okay.
So we started going around all the schools. And then that year they had the best results in literature. And that was what led to the schools, the principal association of Oyo State, sending a letter to the NYC that we needed to be given an award. And that was how I got that award. To cut a long story short, I resigned from the bank as a manager in the bank. The reason why I resigned was, Father, don't forget, what I've always wanted to do was to go into the arts. I've always loved the art. I kept drawing and sketching throughout my period, even in the banking industry. 7 years in Vertex studying art again. So I had to start from a part-time program, 3 years for the ND program, another 3 years for full-time for the HND program, and then 1 year industrial attachment. To the glory of God, I did that industrial attachment in my own company. While I was there, I started my own company. And I started from my room in my apartment then.
We're taking the topic becoming a change agent or being a change agent, as it were. And we've just had Mr. Biodun Omolayo tell us his story, very interesting story. Now we'll be listening to Mr. Segun Olujobi share his own account. Let's meet you, sir.
Thank you very much. My name is Segun Olujobi. I'm 51, going to turn 52 this year.
Okay.
I studied mechanical engineering at the University of Lagos. And even though I had a very good degree in mechanical engineering, I chose not to proceed to higher education, to do a postgraduate, for 2 reasons. One was because my parents were academics and things weren't very good for academics at that time. The second reason was, at that time, a lot of the programs that were popular at the postgraduate level, at least in the US where I was interested in going, had to do with biomedical engineering. I did not like biology.
Yes.
And so I started thinking about what to do which was practical, and industrial engineering seemed to be what was interesting to do. Unfortunately, there were not many industrial engineering jobs, and as we were looking, I saw an advert from Arthur Anderson at the time, looking for young professionals, and I joined Arthur Anderson. I thought I would be there for 2 years. I spent 21 years there.
Wow.
21 years I left as a partner, and I was responsible for the oil and gas and utilities business in Nigeria.
Okay.
Why did I leave Accenture? Very interesting story. I guess I became restless on various fronts, and it's very interesting because they all came together in a funny way.
Okay.
My first challenge was I realized that the way to grow our business in consulting was to have big clients.
Okay.
I went to church, I'd given my life to Jesus,
Okay.
proud to that, and I had a vision. And that vision, I saw, what turned out to be in my vision, as I understood it, a large oil company
Okay.
in the Niger Delta.
Okay.
As these things are, you sort of get administration from the Holy Spirit. This is a private company.
Yes.
And so I started looking for, those companies, and I couldn't find. And so the idea to start what I'm now doing called Vertex Energy, which is a company that a couple of us have put together, was planted. And as I prayed and prayed, it became clear that's what God wanted me to do. So I left Accenture to do that in 2008. Initially, I became a partner or principal in a private equity firm.
Okay.
And then about 2010, we started on the journey of what's called Vertex Energy. A couple of things that have shaped my life. One was Accenture was a very big part of that. I think the values that we get taught, which interestingly are the same values that we get taught as Christians,
Yes.
have been a big part of who I am. The value of wanting to make society better than you have. And one of the big challenges I saw, which has also shaped my thinking as I took my Christianity more seriously, was I felt that there was a big gap between what people said, what they professed,
Yes.
and what they did.
Yeah.
And so this platform and this business, one of the objectives was to try and ensure that it was possible to do good and to do what was right.
Okay.
It also led to the birth of something called the Apostles in the Marketplace, which I'm chairman of now. And it was a group of us Christians who got together and said, look, we're tired of people not walking their faith in the marketplace.
Okay.
And so that led to the birth of what is called Apostles in the Marketplace, which is
Interesting.
another part of my story.
Okay.
And so that's who I am. Very briefly, I'm married to Titi and we have 2 children, a boy and a girl.
I have a calling, and it's to be an apostle in the marketplace. So when I hear you say apostles in the marketplace, and it comes out from the fact that you want people to walk their talk. Can you explain that a bit more?
And the common burden of the people in that fellowship was, well, Christians, we're all in the marketplace.
Okay.
And we felt that a number of people paid lip service. We came to church, we saw people who were on the front row sometime, and we knew what they were doing, and there was a burden in our hearts. That really was the background. It was really how do I carry my Christianity from the pulpit to the marketplace. Having said that, I think what we've become is really more a group of people who are seeking to provide mentorship to people who want to let their faith count for something in the marketplace.
I see.
It's a group of people who want to provide the tools, the resources for people as they navigate their journey in the marketplace.
We'll be right back. Let's go back to you, Mr. Omolayo. Are there other examples?
What I started then, I think God used me to start that, the NYC camp.
Okay.
So each time I ask myself a question, I'm still using the same principle up till now.
Okay.
So wherever I found myself, any gathering or any particular area, the question I ask myself, how can I change this place positively? How can I impact this place positively? I had my first exhibition at the National Museum, Monaco. That was in 2004. And I wanted to have the exhibition. The message I listened to in church most of the time, my Bible and everything, if you see every part of my Bible, whether I'm sketching something or whatever, I summarize messages with images. I prayed. Then on Sunday, after service, I left the church and I went back to my office. I just sat down there. I have this garden and I saw a butterfly. It just flew and perched on a flower there. And then the Holy Spirit just told me, paint that butterfly. And I picked my pencil quickly and then watercolor to just sketch it and then paint it out. While I was doing it, the Holy Spirit said, okay, hold it. Could you get a biology textbook and go and read about metamorphosis? So I called a guy around the area who got me that textbook. While I was going through it, talking about the egg stage, the larva stage, the pupa stage and everything, and then the imago, that's the butterfly itself. And the Holy Spirit said that is how success develops. Start from the egg stage, where nobody even gives you recognition, nobody even knows that you are there. Then you move from the egg stage to the larva stage. The larva stage is the crawling stage. At that point, nobody wants to associate with you as well. But God told me that those legs, if you have 2 legs, you can run. And if you have 4 legs, you should be faster than somebody who has 2 legs.
Yeah.
But this guy has so many legs, and yet he's crawling. That there's a problem. Those legs are false legs. That's why he's crawling. And that as a human being, you could have associates or friends thinking that these are the one who will help you. But then instead they'll be slowing you down. And what you need to do is to get rid of them and then look inwards. That's the point when the butterfly, when the larva goes into a cocoon, the cyst. And at that point, it's no longer eating or doing anything again. It goes under the leaf, just stay there, as if there's no life in it. But when it's going to come out of that cyst, you see a butterfly with wings. And then, the Holy Spirit told me that even when the wing comes, just stay. And let this wing, let it get stronger first before you start flying. And then while you are staying, the colors and everything will come on the wings, and then the butterfly becomes so beautiful. That is when you achieve a particular, then the butterfly becomes a symbol of success. But then, if I was talking about the flower that I'm painting or drawing, the Holy Spirit said, okay, can't you check what attracts the butterfly to the flower? And what I was reading from that book too, I saw nectar. The nectar said the nectar is very sweet. So you have something, you must not abort bitterness inside of you. There has to be sweetness, and that sweetness is what the butterfly is coming to suck. And then, while coming to suck, it don't just come in, but the flower to make itself available, that should be ready to give as well. And then be beautiful, not just outward appearance, that the petals of the flowers are so beautiful. And when the butterfly comes to suck nectar, while sucking the nectar, the pollens attach to the body of that butterfly. When it goes to another flower, cross-pollination takes place. That when you give, when you release yourself, that multiplication sets in. And then I was about running into it because I was looking at how do I present it in church. Yeah. So the Holy Spirit just told me that it's not completed yet. And I said, what is it? He said, okay, could I just put rainfall in that thing? And I said, okay, I just put some strokes to represent rainfall. And then the Holy Spirit just said that, look, this is the presence of God. That in all your calculations and everything, whether you are strategically positioned, like the flower is positioned on the topmost part of the plant, you give and this and that. If God is not part of that thing, you won't achieve anything. Yeah. That this rainfall, there's no rainfall, the plant will wither. There won't be flower. There's only for the butterfly to feed on. That this is me. So I just rounded it up. And then when I got back to Reverend Simon, I just showed him a piece that I wrote, said, wow, this is good. And he said, okay, I allow you to do whatever you want to do on the altar. So I did a 15 feet painting on the altar. It took me like about 3 weeks, working day and night at that place. And then when I finished the painting, the day of the seminar, I was so tired that I couldn't go. But I just managed to get to church, but I was outside at the overflow. When Reverend now came in and said, look, you are the one who opened this seminar. We're going to talk about what you have painted. And while I was standing there, everything I've shared now, I share with the congregation. And then while I was about running up, the Holy Spirit just told me, because previously, there was a seminar that I talked about Joseph from prison to the palace. Okay. And then the Holy Spirit told me that butterfly you painted is a representation of Joseph in the Bible. Because Joseph is the one that with coat of many colors. Yes. So it's the butterfly in the Bible. Yeah. So I just presented that way. And Reverend Sam prayed for me that day. Up till now, in my low moments, I pick the tape. I even still listen to it yesterday. I pick the tape, I just play it. Once the thing is playing, I remember all the prayers and everything. I got energized.
Welcome back. This is the concluding segment, and I'll just go straight to you, Mr. Segun. So, what's your own metamorphosis experience?
Well, I want to say thank you to Biodun. That's been a great story. Yeah. We don't have enough time to cover our story. In any case, our story is still unfolding. Okay. I think Vertex Energy, our objective is to impact society, is to impact the communities in which we operate. Okay. I think the point to make here, I mean, that Biodun story sounds very interesting, but people need to realize that he's not a young man. I mean, this is some of the stories are years in making. In Vertex, we spent, this has been on this journey for about 10 years now. We spent the first 7 years, we actually started Vertex as a company in 2010.
Okay.
I'd say for the first 6 years, we tried many things. We couldn't, for various reasons, we couldn't get what we were looking for. On the 7th year, God helped us. And, you know, as usual with things of God, we thank God that some of the things we looked for in the first 7 years, if we had gotten there, maybe we wouldn't have been as successful. At the right time, God gave us something really good.
Okay.
And so the journey is still unfolding. But I think back to his point about metamorphosis, you know, there's stages. And I think one of the challenges or one of the things that people need to realize in becoming a change agent or growing and doing things for God is that it takes time.
Yeah.
You need to pay your dues.
Yeah.
And there'll be dark alleys, there'll be challenging times, there'll be time when you need to go on your knees and to cry out to God. But if you're faithful and if the journey is really from God, you get there. Okay. And when you reflect back on those challenges, as we are doing now, we say glory be to God. That some of the things we planned didn't happen, they will add up. So I think that's the story. I think maybe when next we meet, we'll be able to tell you a bit more about who Vertex and what God has done. Phenomenal story unfolding, and I think you'll still hear a lot more about
it. I'm sure we will. I happen to know a bit of your story, so I wouldn't expect anything less from you. God help it.